All right.
Hold on, it says we're streaming. That's always good. That's it. We should be live. Welcome back to Flory Models Turkey Shootout. Here we are, part two. Me and Hans with you for the next few hours.
Hi there,
Really
guys.
pushing along very nicely. Very, very busy. Literally just chucked some food down, let a load of newbies in, sorted them out and everything else. Quick up to the loo, grab yourself a coffee, and we're back and ready to go again. But you've been more busy than me, so go on then. Let me show you full screen and you can show them what you've been up to.
All right. Sure.
Okay, there you go.
We're gonna try and get this particular. Let's see if we can get this off.
Yeah.
Going for that scheme right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got at least the wheels painted up.
Yeah.
Let's get that right there. So those are the rims right there, and the black rubber tire itself just comes as a single little part like that, which will fit right over those rims.
Yeah.
Get an idea like that. Looks pretty decent, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors that we use for that, if anybody else is doing this particular build eventually, is I used MRP tan, which is the Swedish Army tan, MRP 179, and RLM 74 Graugrun, which is MRP 64.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the glare off. There we go. There we go. And then we did get the top part on.
Lovely.
And then the front, a little bit more trick to it. There's not really a lip right in this area to glue that onto. So you have to hold it together, kind of let the glue set, and then I use some of the Tamiya sprue concoction just to fill it in. We'll let that harden overnight, and then tomorrow we'll sand it up, get it nice and round, and hide the seam right there. Same trick for the barrel, not the best barrel in the world, but we filled it up with some Tamiya sprue filler.
Yeah.
And then we'll just let it harden, and then use a nice round file, and we'll get it all nicely lined up again. But looking pretty rough right now, but that's where we're at. And then I really have fun just clipping lots of parts off. And I see there's still one more part in there that shouldn't be in there. That's junk. There we go. All the little tracks eventually, I'll work on that tonight.
The fun bit, definitely the fun bit.
At least they're off the sprue right now. Now I just need to sand them, and then there's all these little rubber pads as an option. So depending on how fast I get tonight,
Yeah.
we'll clean those up and we'll paint them black and we'll put them on there. That's as far as I've made it.
Cool. Really, really well. Nicely. Right. Well, for me, literally, we're fine apart from. Yes, we do have a small rattle. I could glue it, there's no doubt about it, because I could literally pour something in through the back and just nail it to the rear bulkhead. But hopefully you can see the cockpit is installed and in there. And actually, I don't think that's too bad at all. It's about the right what you'd want. You wouldn't want too much in there because you're never going to see it. But there is quite a lot of glass at the front. To which he says, desperately looking around his desk to try and find it. What have I done with the clear part? Here it is. So we have got the clear part, which actually doesn't look like it's a bad fit on there. But by the time you get the framing in and all the rest of it, the best way you're going to be able to see it is going to be in through the door. So I think it's probably about right on there. And considering it is what it is, there's no actual locating pins and all the rest of it. We've just glued it. So what I'm going to do is scrape clean this in a minute all the way down here. It's actually gone together pretty good. Got no problem with that. Like we said in the review, it's a shame that these wheel wells are a little bit blank. But certainly I think if you wanted to, you could spend a little bit of time and do some work on that. My biggest problem is, to be honest, going to be attaching the wings. Because you might see they're not pretty. That's as best as they fit. So we're going to have a play with those. And it's the same with the tail planes as well. They don't exactly fit in there brilliant. They literally just are flat bits And you might notice it's got huge big gaps on that, so we're going to have to play with that somewhat to get those to fit in correctly and try and make a little bit better job of that. But generally we're coming along very, very nicely. It is sort of getting there now. We have no real problem with it at all, but hopefully the next couple of hours cracking on with it, wrong camera angle, we should be in a position where we can really start to get this thing together. My goal for today is to get the actual wings into it, seat it correctly, put those on, and then probably do a styrene filler job, very much like Hans has done, just to put it down there so it can cure overnight. And then when we come down here tomorrow, or like tomorrow afternoon when we get on with this again, then it will be totally dry and I can sand, scrape clean, rescribe, take care of all of those problems that it's going to have, and then that way we're left with something really nice. So the plan is by tomorrow night this will be completely into primer and ready to go. Okay, and then obviously Saturday it'll be painting it, doing the bits and pieces, hopefully paint it, decal it and everything else, seal it up, and then Sunday I'll be able to actually get in there and start to weather it, go through the final motions of it and everything else like that. So really it'll just be a finish off job, but it'll be a lot of drying times and things like that, so I might pull something else in here to do on the side, because as I say, there's not much to it, but it's going to take a little bit of work to get this all to dry and everything else like that. You guys have been busy. If I just have a quick look in the old forum, you guys pushing on really, really nicely. So Andreas is there saying, I'm currently doing a filler job with putty. Can you update me with the acetone trick? Smoothing out with cotton wool bud. Yeah, basically, if you use your normal putty fillers, i.e. the lacquer based ones, not so much the acrylic ones, but obviously the lacquer based ones, then use a lacquer thinner or acetone will do the job. Basically what you do, you end up melting the filler and the styrene together and then just smooth it out and away you go. You have to be wary of shrinkage obviously, but it won't shrink that much, and you can literally just blend and melt them together. And you can literally do it that way. That's very nice, nice little engine on the go there as you're working on that one. Okay, let me just reset and refresh this so we're all up to date. Okay. Nigel says, hi guys, had to work today, just like every other blooming weekend, so I just caught up, probably catch up with you, catch up, so I've not missed anything. Just putting a post up on my build thread, see you all later. Rob Lee was saying, hi Phil and Steve, just wanted to say thank you for streaming today. It's always fun building along with others. Happy Thanksgiving to our American cousins. And Stephen, he says, hi to all, hope you're having a good day so far. Just wanted to ask Hans what kind of head magnifier you're using. What head magnifier are you using, mate?
Actually this comes from Hobby Lobby. $10, cheap one.
There you go, bargain.
Hobby Lobby in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one type of magnification. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
My eyesight is not the greatest anymore, but that's really what I need to do anything. But yeah, not too bad. There are fancier ones around, of course, but you know, spending $100 on those is a little bit too much, I think. But they work well.
Yeah, perfect. See, just goes to show, really, you don't have to spend a total fortune on these things to, you know, get something that works for you. And Gary says, afternoon guys, and hope you're having a good turkey day. Just a question for the crew, what is the different thinners and airbrush cleaners out there? Can you guys tell me if you just have one cleaner that will clean your airbrush no matter what model paint you use? Thank you guys. Well, basically for me, hold on, if we go back to us, I could do with a shortcut. I did have it worked out once, but I can't remember what it was. If you just want something that will just strip and clean your airbrush every single time, then lacquer thinners. I know a lot of people don't like using it and all the rest of it, but you can just get a weaker version, but this will clean everything. I get a lot of people ask me about using like floor care and clears and other types of paint. I just literally now flush through with this. I don't actually buy a dedicated airbrush cleaner. I don't think you particularly need it. This stuff will do the job absolutely fantastically. I know Hans likes to dismantle his. He's got the little one there. And you can do it, just blow it through, and you can literally just leave it. You don't get any needle stick with it as well. One thing I used to notice when I used to use Vallejo's airbrush cleaner, If you left it over a weekend, you'd come back the next day, the needle would be locked to the rear seal. Okay, so when we say the rear seal, we mean the one that's actually in the body back here. So you have a seal which sort of lays about here, okay, and then what happens is that the needle actually gets stuck on that seal. Okay, it's nothing to do with the front or all the rest of it, but that's the thing, when you come to pull the trigger and it's rock hard, it's because it's attached to it. Since I've been using this stuff and just blowing through with it, pure laziness from my point of view really, I've never had a problem with it. The only thing I do tend to do is I'll whip the needle out and I'll use some super lube or anything else like that and just literally rub the entire needle length with it, and it just protects everything and it keeps everything slipping and sliding and nicely in there. But guarantee as soon as this stuff touches it, it'll strip it bare and away you go. Alright, but again, it's personal choice. I know a lot of people don't like putting hot products through their airbrush and all the rest of it. I think that's quite an old-fashioned thing now, because most airbrushes have, like these guys have got, is triple Teflon seals and all the rest of it. It's not like rubber that perishes, and when they perish, obviously the seal disintegrates and it releases paint and all the rest of it. Modern airbrushes don't do that anymore. It's not like the old ones where they would like corrode and rust and disintegrate. They're really designed for it now and can cope with pretty much most things. Chris O'Neill says, hi Phil, as requested, the retracting knife I use is by Draper. You can get them here for £2.95. I've just ordered a couple more. They fit in the hand very nicely and have a good weight, much better than the cheaper plastic ones you might get. Well, there we go, see, I've got a contact for that company, funnily enough. Landon says, hi guys, I'm fixing to build the Tamiya 148 F16 Arctic Aggressor Camo, the black, white and grey. I had a question regarding the black. It looks like a real matte black. Would you think NATO black or have a super matte black from MRP? Would like your thoughts on it. I don't know what black they actually call it. Funny enough, I might be able to help on that because I've got the official decals for it. We were saying about them the other day. So I've got these, and I've got the 48th ones, the 32nd ones as well for it. Let's see what the actual official colour is on Mukau. Yeah, that's the stencil data. That's Lizard, Arctic, more Arctic, Lizard Flanker and Arctic Flanker stencils, modelling notes, photo references, ECM notes, Red Flag Alaska. Right, I'm pretty sure I had a thing here with the actual colours, with all the different, the ones that are in it as well. What have I done with that? Perhaps we've had that, or perhaps that was the other one. It's not your normal type black, it's not just like a flat black. I don't know what their call out for it is. I must have moved, being a Muppet, the things, red flag, colour, notes, strengthening panel. There we go. I got it, I found it now. The Arctic Flanker colour they're actually giving is Federal Standard at 37030. Model Master number is 2040 for that one. And then for the grey, they are giving Federal Standard 36231 or Model Master 1740, and then white is white apparently, but they're doing it that sort of off-white. I wonder if it's the same one as that. Where's my light? 628. Yeah. No, they're giving it as 36628.
It's that off.
Right.
The off-white. It's
got you.
Mr. Color 316.
Right, gotcha.
One of them.
231 for, I'm just wondering, 237. 231. I'm sure 270. I'm wondering if it's that US
what was
sort
it
of F14 blue. 231 it ends in. Hold on, got me thingy here. There's me Federal Standard. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1. Sorry, yeah, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, dark gold grey. So H, if you're doing it for the guns ones, it will be 317. 370, 37030. Actually not giving it here. As I said, it is a black. It is a funny black. I've actually seen it in person. To be honest, when we were in Alaska, we had them flying over us quite a bit, and it's like a very matte black, just an off black. So yeah, you could put a hint of something just into it, just perhaps a dab of grey in amongst it, just to sort of give it that ultra flat, dead looking paint one to it, and all the rest of it. Yeah, but just seeing what else they've got on it. But yes, it's not your sort of standard sort of colours with Moo Cow. I don't know what they're giving out on the kit. Let me just see what have I done with the kit. I have the kit. Hold on. See what Tamiya say for it. I bet they'll just say black. Let's just see what Tamiya have to say. Oh.
I would almost poke down so gloss black with too stark, I think.
Well, they're doing their usual and going a cop out and doing AS colours, which is their normal one. So they're saying for the black, I take it. Which one's that? That is. Just make sure. 354. Yeah, they're just giving it out as being TS6.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what TS6 works out with them, but yeah, they're doing AS7, AS20, and TS6 with their colours. So I don't know what TS6 works out in black ways. So yes, it's not an easy one to do, but there again, you know, having seen them in the flesh, they're quite different colours, all of them. They're, you know, it is that thing, they weather in and all the rest of it. They're in quite a harsh environment up in Alaska, and they do it like that, so that's the thing to it. Right, okie dokie. So, that's all of those. If we go up to... hold on, I just need to pop down to the builds, have a quick look at those. Turkish U-Tower build threads, no completed yet, 35 on the go.
Wow.
So we're doing very well down there. Let me just bring up the forum there. Okay, so let's have a look at the stiletto, see how Chris is getting on with his. Wow, engine's installed.
Jeez.
Coming along very nicely, getting that all in there. Doing really well on that one. As I say, it's not an easy kit to mess around with at the end of the day.
No.
Okay, cutting up for masking up. Doing all the bits and pieces for that. He's doing the seat belts for it as well. Really nice touch. Well done. Good job on that one, Chris. Coming along really nicely. Okay, so we've got the Colin is working on the 72nd, the train thing we were looking at.
Yeah.
Searchlight's been had by the carpet monster. Oh no. Okay, so turret's being done. Turret is on board. Very nice, coming together really well. Working on the actual track for it.
Alright.
Cool.
That's
Very good.
good. Like that.
Coming together really nicely. Yeah, and he's got it primed as well. Look at that. Really
Cool.
pushing ahead on that one. Doing great on that one. Okay, and the Walker Bulldog that Steve's working on. Okay, so there we go. Working busily away on that one, getting all the wheels and everything sorted out for it, getting everything put on board, the cleats and all the bits. Same as you, Hans, he's currently getting the old filler out around the barrel and the bits and pieces like that. So well done to him on that one. And the E75, the flak. There we go. using the old tabs for the left hand and right hand side of it, working your way through, getting all of that in. Again, big old jobs on that one with the armour guys. Hats off to you for doing it, as I say, because it sort of puts you against the gun a bit. Jonathan's working on the Typhoon, which he's got painted up the cockpits on the inside and the various bits of framework and everything, with the instrument panel done, looking really, really good. Well done. And we've also got the Bandai. So we've got R2 on the go, so he's working with that one. Still looking for an update on that one. Okay. William is working on the V1.
Alright.
Something a little bit different, which is nice to see. Again, nice touch. That's what we're after. Nice, good, easy builds.
Visitors. Come on, go.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
Cats are starting to jump on my bench.
Yeah, until they knock everything flying. Okay, Andy. Well done, Andy. Andy's with us. He's working on the old Brewster Buffalo. The classic Tamiya kit. Really nice kit on that one. So, congratulations. Welcome aboard, Andy. And we've also got, what else have we got? The Hurricane, the 72nd one we've been looking at, the American one. Getting together with the actual cockpit, fitting together, getting the wings sorted out, and then obviously working into the props. Fuselage halves together. That's it, looking really good. Progressing nicely there, Jason, well done. We've also got the Challenger. Big project to try and do this, complete with a word from our sponsors. Love it. Okay, and then obviously going in there, halves together, getting the road wheels on, everything else like that, starting to take shape. Really, really nice on that one. I like the way you say, having built this kit, good luck, it's horrible. Okay, I think we've all built it. It does go together. It just needs a bit of help.
Needs some filler, but that's a good.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, Neil's pushing on nicely. Got that Spitfire on the go, the Mark V. Getting to grips with it, and he's painting on screws. Good man. Okay, and we are. Where else are we up to? Where were we? Just did the Spitfire. So F86, John. Still pushing through on that one. Jamal's getting an update. Let's see how you're getting on. Post them up, guys. And the Tiger one. I don't know if there's any more changes on these. These are the older times. 2 hours ago when we left it. More photo etch. That's a lovely photo etch on the back there.
Wow.
Getting those exhaust shrouds on. Really, really nice. Fantastic work.
Like that.
That is a lot of work. Hats off to you, Simon. Doing a great job on that one. Okay, right, Hobby Boss. Very nice to see. We've got a 109 in the building. A few little extras for it as well. Nice, nice, nice. Absolutely. And as I say, little few goodies with that form. We've got a crystal clear vac form canopy, set of resin wheels, and we got some the Luftwaffe steel harnesses. Let us know how you get on with those. We spoke about those earlier in the show. I don't know anybody who's used the steel ones yet. But yeah, it'd be nice to see how you're getting on with those. And the patch, how are we doing with the patch? Looking good so far. We've got the black work going down on the patch. Okay. And any more on the wife 23? We're about 2 hours away. We're away for 2 hours, so some of these might be the same as we were before. No, we're still looking for an update in there. And any more from Chris? Yep, Chris is on his way with those two. Come along very nicely. With the old Citadel colours as well. Beautiful work. Nice painting job on the inside with the harnesses painted in there onto the seats and everything. Congratulations, looking fantastic. Okay, and we've got that Revel GT. Yeah, still looking for a bit more on that one. We've seen that one before. I must say the earpieces are good. They charged up in 40 minutes, so that was handy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. Any more on the truck? Yep. So Nigel's well on his way doing the actual framework on the truck, all the the exhaust and all those areas going in. Well done, Nigel. Great job on that one. Okay, right. And then if we just go back and a quick refresh. There we go. So, well done guys, absolutely doing fantastic on that one. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to attempt to scrape clear some of my joints just to see how we get on with these. Okay, so from my point of view, let's give these a whirl. Scrapers, where's my other scraper? That's probably it. A little bit more careful, don't want to dip this down any too far. It's a bit too close. Okay, so I'm going to scrape. See if we can get this down to a nice level. Okay. A little bit of work in that one, I feel. A little bit of work in there. We'll do a bit of a filler job on that. And under here. Okay. And if you're wondering, the reason I switch from a scraper to the knife doesn't take as much away. If you look at the shards coming off of this guy, it's really thick. They're quite chunky bits coming off. If you look off of here, off the blade, they're a lot finer. So by using the knife for the scraper, you can take off big areas to clean, and then I just use the knife just to scrape clean. And what I'm looking for is white areas, and if I've got white areas, I know there's not enough glue or something in there. So we definitely need to either re-glue or get in there with a thicker, something like styrene filler. To be honest, around this nose is going to need it. But it's a good way of just taking out the height between two areas. And then hopefully you can see it's still dark in the middle here, but there's no lip, it feels fine. And we'll clean it off properly afterwards. I'm going to switch into here for... just like that.
Making pretty good quick work of that seam, huh?
Yeah, it just goes straight down and in. It is going to need a little bit of filler. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tackle that because I'm going to put on just a little light coat. So what we've got here is a little bit of the old homebrew filler.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tap this in and then we'll redo it again.
It works a charm. It always works.
And again, people always ask me what thickness you should be. And like I always say, you want it like thick PVA glue. But depending on how thick you put it on, depends on how quick it dries. So, like everything, if it's really thick, it's going to take forever to dry. Because I've had some people say, oh, but it takes forever to go off. That'll be your problem.
I find, overnight, seems to be the best thing to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Walk away. And I actually have two thicknesses. One that's fairly thin, and one that's
yeah, with a little bit thicker.
Super thick, actually. Just if it's like a pin mark or something, that looks pretty good. And then I have one that's kind of an in between. To see it running around, I guess.
Yeah, that's about mine. That's what I tend to do. And then obviously as it thickens up over time, all I'll do is I'll just come in and rethin it. So I'll just chuck in a little bit of something. But if you do this stuff right, and if you don't use soft second-hand sprue, i.e. like Airfix's stuff or Revel, you'll find that it'll dry rock hard with minimal shrinkage. I had a guy the other day say to me he has trouble because it always shrinks and all the rest of it, and when I questioned him on it, he just exclusively builds Airfix and Revel because that's all you can get at his local shop. And the thing is with that is that the sprue is soft by its nature, so when you do this it's still always going to be slightly soft, so you're always going to get more shrinkage with that than you will do with other manufacturers of sprue. But that's why I always suggest styrene sheet. You can buy it quite cheaply, and if you want to make it up to make filler like I do, it's cheaper, really as cheap as chips to do it, because as I say, to make up a bottle like that will probably cost you about £3. But then you'll continue to thin it all the time, because you think a bottle of extra thin is going to cost you £3.50. Styrene sheet will cost you around about 50p, and away you go. And as you say, you could chop up probably enough to make 2 bottles of it, full of it. So you do one thick, one thin, and have it, and just every now and again top up.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So, right, next challenge will be one handling this. Now it's got that on there. We'll be looking at these wings. So, why don't they fit?
I wonder, since they're so small, Phil, they barely weigh anything. It might be worthwhile just to cut the tab off and just put some sandpaper in between the joint and the wing and just sand it flat. Much faster.
I think what it is also doesn't help. There's a slight little raised area on the tab joint itself. So
there you go.
I might just try and relieve it of that. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one how that goes in. I'm assuming. Let's Medium.
And 7. Hunting Springs. Skip that.
That's better. That's a lot better.
Yeah, there you go. Much better.
That's much better in there, yeah. And there we go already. This is dry to the touch. So, you know, styrene filler, people say you can't do it. Well, it's dried already. Alright, I wouldn't sand it, but at least I can handle it now.
Yeah.
Okay, but that wing is in there. The trouble we had was the tab is slightly too wide, I think. That was the thing. So by thinning it, both sides. Let's try this side. Ah, that's got it. Yeah, the trouble I've had is that these tabs that locate in, the two problems you have, first of all is there's a slight little ridge on this guy, literally just here, so if you just flatten that off, okay, this side doesn't really have it, it's got it a tiny bit actually, so we're just going to lightly sand that off, okay, and then the big thing is these tabs, they're slightly splayed out at the bottom, so if you cut them in, i.e. just drop in a knife and just take off a fraction off of each side, then when you come in and you pop this guy in, it fits perfectly with no gap, so there's no more step, and it doesn't rock either backwards and forwards. Yes, now we've lost its bite point because now the wings hang because they've got nothing to hook into, but then we can line and square this all up nicely, so we'll have no problem with it. But that was the problem with that. But we are going to have to play with it a little bit just to square all this up, because at the moment it's a bit of a wobbling wreck, so it will take a little bit of work, but at least we've cured that now, so that's those that are fine. And then up here on the tails, I'm wondering if it's the same story. So again, we've got a little seam just running down between both, so we're just going to scrape them out just to clean them. And then again, I'm just going to lightly run the blade and just take a smidgen off each side. And again, it's cured it. Just a little bit more in that one. There we go. And again, I'm just wondering if it's just going to be a case of just pretty much. Okay, that was an easy fix. Okay, the door, before we lose it, we'll stick that over there. Okay, so next up, whilst that's just drying off, we'll just tackle the gear, the extensive gear, which is okay, let's pop these off. Okay, so these so they're just a push-in fit straight to the bottom, that makes that easy. And then these are a push-in to the top. That's pretty straightforward. Okay. And that is all that's to it. That's very straightforward. Okay. Okay. It seems overly simple, to be honest. I was expecting something a little bit more complex than that.
2 legs.
Yeah, it literally is. Interior green on that, all interior green on that. The question being is, could I glue it in place? Probably not before fixing it all together.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to do that as separates, because they're interior green, the doors are interior green, and so it's just the outer part. So all of that lot, I think will have to go interior green at some point. That's fine. And then that guy as well. Okay, happy with that. So just the nose wheel, which is pretty straightforward, so we'll get that done and cleaned.
Let's see where these end up.
Okay. Okay, that's that. Resin wheels. Okay. One. 2. 3. Very nicely casted, done wheels, I must say, from the Eddard family.
Those the Brassam ones, Phil?
I don't know, it just comes with this one, so but I assume it's from that family. Yeah, it's they're very nice hubs on them, very detailed considering for what they are. They're extremely well detailed right the way through to you've actually got the valve moulded in it as well.
Yeah, nice.
So that really is very nice. Now what colour are these? Are going to be chrome silver, black tyre. It's easy. We can do them. Instrument panel is put on. That, I think we'll put in all of that afterwards. That can all go in. We'll see if we can sand this sooner rather than later. It'd be nice to get that sanded and done tonight. So hopefully you can see where it's still white on the tail. That's because the filler we've used has actually softened the plastic. So that's why it's left a sort of slime trail, because that's actually soft. So we can't do anything until that is dried out totally, which obviously is going to take a couple more hours on that one before we can get in there. So what we can try and do is jig the control surfaces all in the wings, I think. That'll be the best bet. So, we just have a look at some questions. White of a rose, hold on, and like that, and then we go in like that. Okay. And right, so Don says, hi everyone, really enjoying the live marathon. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on paint order for my X1, so I can't be building along. Phil, could you do a quick recap on the colours you are using? Also, what PSI you use when spraying Tamiya Interior Green Neat? Pretty much, what colours? I'm doing the white version. So to be honest, I'm going to be using Tamiya XF2 and then I'm going to gloss it. So I'll probably just use floor care right the way over the top it to gloss it in. We are probably going to do a little bit of shading work and all the rest of it, but generally that's the colour we're going to go for on that one. I'm probably going to spray the entire thing black first, then put the white over it to give it a solid white look instead of that sort of translucent type of white as well. So not like black basing, but you know, just to give it the solid look right the way through. So we're going to be doing that one with it. After spraying neat, literally I don't know, it's probably around about 20 psi, and just pour it in and just spray it. I'm using the 0.2 needle set. It should work really well. I've never known it to stop or anything else like that. If you want to, you can add a few drops in there. The reason I spray neat is it dries almost instantaneously and it gives a bit of texture. It's quite rough, but that's nice because when you're looking cockpits, you don't want any shininess. It's going to be quite flat and matte looking, so that's the reason I do it. I tend to do it in wheel wells, anywhere where you could normally get runs and pooling, confined areas. I'll just spray it in there neat and do it that way. So it's just a quick, easy, straightforward way of speeding up your process. Lastly, you had a straight up Tamiya white laid out on the start of the session, but you'd previously mentioned an off-white or navy white from MRP. Did you change your mind? Slightly, because apparently they were just white. We have got it there. I've still got it. It's looking at me now. US Navy white, MRP 99. Might still do it that way, but that tends to be an off-white grey white versus test aircraft white. So probably what I'll do is I'll just put a dab of grey into it just to knock it off of off-white, because as you know, I'm not a great believer in white or black. I'll do shades of each, so just to take it just a little bit off. I might add a tiny little bit of buff to it just to give it a slight creamy hue to it almost, so it's not brilliant gloss white. It'll just be slightly something else, just to give it a better scale effect. To be honest, US Navy white will probably do it, but we're just thinking because of what this is and how it is and everything else like that, something like that will work probably just equally as well right the way over it. So that's my planning for that one. Andrew Blake, He says, I just got home, so we'll pop to the man cave, pick something up at random and build along. Looking forward to seeing everyone's work. It should be done more often. Well, if this works, we'll do a lot more of them. Malcolm Towns, hi Phil, doing the F84, and I've just noticed it has the wrong canopy. Does this matter? See photo.
This one?
He's got the one with the sort of porthole in the back.
The 84. Oh, that's the later version. You could probably lightly buff out that. I think it's an inspection port or something like that.
Yeah.
Use your buffing polishing set, Phil, and you can take that out. Realistically, most people won't even know why that is.
No, that's right.
That's the later version canopy, actually.
So does it not have any framing in that one? Because it hasn't got any framing at all.
It's just that circle that you see in the back, where it moves down. As you can see in his reference picture, it doesn't have that. Just that little thing. You could polish that out if you really want to do it. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. Pretend it's not there. Move along. Nothing to see. Okay, Landon says, what about the super matte black from MRP Paint? We on about the Moo Cow? Yeah, you could probably do that one. Yeah, I've got the big bottle of it somewhere. I've got it down there, I think, as well. So yes, you could probably go in with that. As I say, it's not like your normal just flat black. It's something in it. I don't know quite what it is in it, but as you say, you see them. It's sort of an off colour. One of the guys put up loads of photos of them the other day, some really nice ones out of Nellis. Have a look at those for reference. Kenneth, he's doing really well because he's got the young man doing it. Hi guys, and happy Thanksgiving. We'll be following along all weekend. My 7-year-old son Evan has started the Airfix Quick Build Typhoon this afternoon, but it didn't take long. He's well happy with the results. That's good, that's what we like, get them in on it. A bit of artistic license. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Looking forward to seeing the results. Absolutely. Well done. Fantastic.
All right.
Better than anything he's got in his cabinet.
Very good.
Definitely. Paul says, hi guys, I'm new to Flory models. I am struggling with clear matte coats. It always seems to go frosty. I'm using Tamiya XF86 5050, wondering if you've got any tips. Yes, we get this a lot. To be honest, it's just one of those things that if you're putting down too much of it, literally what you want to do, crank your air pressure up, okay, and literally it is just a light pass right over it. The big thing is when you start building on top of that and giving it another coat and another coat, that's when you get the frosting look, because what's happening is the particles, which are extremely matte, stack up on top of each other, and it makes everything give it that white frosting look, and it's not very nice at all. So what you want to do is a bit closer, a light pass right over it, that will do the trick, okay, or further away, alright, but not as much. So it's a little bit two ways doing it, either moving close, put down your matte coat right over it, or the other way is do it from further away and a light one. Thing is, if you're doing it further away, you've got more stuff flying at your model, and then what's going to happen is, sorry, camera's not changing. What's going to happen is that it's not going to actually do much apart from stack on top of each other. And as soon as it stacks on top of each other, then you've sort of lost the results from it. The other thing as well, if you're putting in too much of the material, XF86 is pretty good. To be honest, it's one of the better ones. 50-50 mix, quite close in, medium air pressure, so anything sort of 12 to 15 psi, just whack that right over it, then you should have no problem at all with it. But as I said, it's one of those things. A lot of people, if you're a long way away, they're doing this for ages and it's just stacking it up and it's not really doing anything. Okay, so you want to move slightly in there, a bit closer, pure coats, literally put it down, move away, dry it down with air, see what you're looking at. The other thing as well, when you're spraying it, have a look at the light, get the light reflecting on it, spray it and watch it dull off, okay? Then you're good. Then go somewhere else and do the next area. But you can see the reflection on there. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. Other things I've been using, like the MRP Super Matte, really, really good. You can stack that on top of each other, not a lot happens. But the thing is, other ones, the acrylics, do tend to have a thicker flat agent in there, so it can get frosty very, very quickly. A lot of people used to use things like flat base X21. Don't do it mixed with clear, because if you get the ratio wrong, it's so much sort of flatness that it makes everything look flat and pretty much sort of usable, really, because you get that frosting when it's happened, you can't get rid of it. So that is trouble with that one.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Probably either if you go further away, do a little bit more thinner in there. Maybe go to 60-40 mix. Right?
Yeah.
That drying time in the air. Well,
it is that thing. A lot of people that you think you're doing better by giving it more to flatten it. Actually, you're making more harm, because all you're doing is giving it almost like a sandpaper texture. And it goes wrong. So that's the difference with it. But as Hans says, yeah, add more thinner to it and let it do the work. Instead of you pushing it onto it, let it cover it, and then you're done. And don't forget, from a certain point of view, unless you want a total dead flat finish, you want a little bit of shine in there anyway, because it adds scale. If it's just dead flat, it's like being dead glossy. It's like the wrong way. You need something just slightly in between it. Daniel says, hi guys, just found a nice reference site for the virtual cockpit tours of many US Navy aircraft. Many Navy aircrafts. Since Steve does the Hellcat. I think I know that one, I've been there. It's the 3D one where you can look around them.
yeah,
very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed. So, let me just go back over here. Right, so how are you getting on? The wrong one, sorry. There we go. There we go. How's it going?
There, slowly but surely. There's quite a bit of seam actually on that. You can see the filler that I put in right along the top right here.
Yeah.
A little, let's see, there we go. Now we're there.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, when you do the, let's see, the mud guards, of course, that seam is right above it. Talk about not being smart engineers here.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to fill it whether you like it or not, right? It's right above it. Otherwise, you would have left it alone. But yeah, getting there. Just a lot of sanding and just light flash everywhere too. Seems like, but getting there.
Again, that's the thing, is that some people not worry about the flash that much, but sometimes it can really sort of be detrimental to your overall model if you've got little tiny bits of flash everywhere, because when you come in with things like washes, they grip to it. And you've got these lines running everywhere and along bars and everything else like that, and that's why sometimes you think it's a bit of a hassle when you've got especially curved surfaces like exhausts and stuff like that, but it's well worth spending the time just to perhaps scrape clean them and sand them, because as I say, if you do come in with any type of weathering onto it, it's going to stick to those areas as they make their way through it. So that's the thing to them. Right, so I try and get my tails on. Let's give this a whirl. Okay, if we start with the tail planes and we get these squared up, then we'll try everything else. So, these are the same both sides. These are, okay. Let's try one and then we'll come in with two. Okay. Let's try a 90 degree. Can't beat a Mark 1 eyeball. 90 degrees to the tail. Did have a thinking somewhere. One little. Okay, just let that get a little grip. Okay. Let's set off just a sec. We have a small technical hitch on mine. I don't know if it is supposed to be like this in real life, but the one tail is higher than the other. Slightly higher one side to the other. I don't know if it was like that in real life, but hey ho.
Yeah, that doesn't make, I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but it could be.
Yeah. Seems to be holding its own. Okay, let's have a look at the wings.
It's just an example of how well that styrene filler works. You know, I had this filled during the night, let it harden. I don't know if you can see that fill.
Hold on, let me zoom you in. Hold on.
Let's see if I can.
This yeah.
One. The top one is sanded out.
Yeah.
The bottom one has, you can see them right there.
Yeah, got them.
Right yeah. There. And like on this one, can't even tell that they're there. It really works well. It's styrene filler. Just love that stuff.
I must admit, the reason I love it is because it's just so seamless into the rest of the model. Every time I've used any other types of filler, they've always been that sort of different type of medium. Yep. So you've always had that thing of like perhaps sanding it or even just overspraying it. But when it's styrene on styrene, it just goes. It just blends beautifully together.
Yeah, it's the same hardness, sands the same, easy to work with.
Yeah. Okay, so back on it. Okay, important safety tip. Sorry, this is from Eric for the day. When using lacquer thinners, be sure to double check that you don't set your open bottle on top of a paper towel and then use to clean your airbrush, or you may end up with the entire work area coated in thinners.
Yes.
Oh yes. How I didn't damage anymore the one part and the container of Tamiya tape is beyond me. That is the trouble. If you do happen to tip lacquer thinners everywhere, it will strip, eat and melt everything it comes in contact with.
Yes.
Right, okay, Paul says thanks for that. I'll give it a go. That's great. Okay, let's have a look at your work, see how we're getting on. Let me just refresh this. The hourly run round the membership.
See how everybody's holding up after.
See how you're all doing it. Okay, so Malcolm's in with our Penny, bless her.
There you go.
Picked up the SR71 and she is going to be starting on that one. Go for it, Penny. Looking forward to seeing that one done. Don't let your dad get involved. You know what he's like. He'll just take over and, you know. Tell him I said so. You'll be fine. Okay, the Bulldog. How are we doing on the Bulldog? No updates on the Bulldog so far. Oh, perhaps we are. I don't know. Hold on. Perhaps the photo's being a bit slow loading in.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Still working on that one. Okay, what else have we got? The flick. Thing is, everyone's coming in off work now. I'm commenting on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's looking pretty good.
Yeah, coming along very nicely on that one. Okay, and the half ton. This is Paul. Nope. Has anyone done any updates? Come on, guys, you've had an hour. You should have done by now.
That's the waffling.
Oh look, that's looking really nice. Pre-shading done.
Yeah.
Coming to life nicely on that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely looking very good on that one, I have to say. As I say, I love this, that we've got so many different types of models and various things coming in. Nigel, still progressing on his. Okay, and 20 minutes there. I think nobody else is going to be. Oh, we've got a couple of things. I'm just trying to look for slightly different things. The little single patrol walker. These Revel Easy kits, you know, they are flooding absolutely everywhere at the moment. They're pretty good as well, I have to say. Okay, a Reaper. So we were saying about this one entering in. There it is. Adam's got his Reaper on the go. Really nice one to see that one as well. Okay, is mine the 48th or 72nd? Must be 48th. I've got the 48th one as well. And I'm just seeing if we've got any more type of new things in there. What else we got? Oh, there's a new one. David. He's mainly working on the Games Workshop model, the TAU-TY7 Devilfish. So good luck on that one. And let's see if we've got any other newish ones in there. It's about an hour ago and all the rest of it. Right, okay guys, keep at it. We'll check back to you in an hour's time. Let's make sure. Oh, the patch. Have we got any more? Michael's done an update on the patch. Oh yeah.
Oh,
so there we go. Beginning to take shape. Yellow going on.
Nice.
Pushing that in. Nicely done, Michael. Cracking. As I say, something really nice and interesting. Something a little bit different. We love all of that. Okay, right. Okay, get back at it. Okay. Make sure we got nothing new in here. Let's go back one.
No more questions?
I'm just checking that. Hold on. Just gonna refresh. And I'll go forward a page. Team games, off-white navy seas. We did that one. We done the thing. We done that one. We did that one. That's all good. Okay. Naval aviation, important safety tip. Try that one. So Robert says, "Hi guys. Quick question for Hans. What is the blue mat you're using on your desks? Looks like he's been just the thing he's been after." Hold on, I've lost my mouse cursor. Where's my mouse? Hold on, I'll come to you.
Once I tell him he doesn't want it. all it is just a paper a poster board is what it is. You know, big thick poster board, like a cardboard. Yeah. You can get them here in the U.S. at Hobby Lobby. Different colors: black, gray, green, all sorts of blues that tend to show up better on camera. Let me grab a sheet here real quick. It just protects your workbench pretty well. You know, all it is just a big old sheet. You know, cost about like $2.
Yeah.
And I just chuck them on the bench like that. Take good pictures that way. Nice even background. Plus it keeps spilling on your regular bench. Pretty cheap way to protect your work.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy again. You know, something cheap that works pretty well.
Definitely.
I hope that
That's
works.
the key. If it's cheap and it works,
yeah,
why go expensive? You know, that's the whole point.
Right.
Right. Okay. So and hold on. Cursor. He always catches me with this thing. Okay. Nigel says hi. Doing the Challenger challenge, and it's amazing kit. It also looks so innocent in the box. not so. As you know, I think we've all built that kit at one time or another. That's the trouble.
Right.
I feel sorry for the young modelers who are taking the leap for something like the Airfix's Spitfire to a cheap model like this. I think this will put off some young modelers from continuing. What are your thoughts on this? As I said, spoken about it a lot. I, would love to see a good quality of simple kits. And I think it is getting there. The world is getting there. There's no doubt about it. I think Airfix, to be honest, are the only company out there. There is some ones coming down the line now, but that generally are taking the future of the hobby and investing a little bit of money into it. And by that I mean that they're actually doing the new toolkits. So you've got like their 148th range, their 172nd stuff. They are pretty good. They do go together. Okay, they're not perfect and they're not like amazing kits and all the rest of it, but kids don't want amazing details and all the rest of it. They just want something they can put together quite simply with no real hassles. And to be honest, 90% of all their new stuff does do it, and it goes together. And to be honest, it's quite a reasonable price. It's not, going to break the bank and all the rest of it. So in some ways, Airfix do seem to be sort of their core market has always been the UK modeler at heart, and they've always done that little thing of trying to keep the kids involved with it. And like we just saw with the new snap type Lego-ish type kits and everything else that they've done now as well, they are still trying to do that side of it. So hats off to Airfix. They've always been there for us as the sort of returnee modeler. They're the ones that tend to get you back. You're in the model store one day in your 30s or 40s, you see one, chances are it will be Airfix. And you think, oh, I'd like to do one of those. They do quite nice catchy box art and everything else like that again, and I think that's what draws people back in. At the end of the day though, when you get something which is a really bad kit and it's really off-putting, it's only going to take one. So if that kid does pick up a Challenger Trumpy kit and thinks, oh well, it's only 15, 20 quid, I'll give that a go, and it just is a complete ball ache from start to finish, he's not going to do it again. And that's what I've always said, you need something that kids can do, they can pick it up, they don't need technical supervision and all the rest of it. If they're old enough that they can sit there, put it together, have something to show relatively quickly as well, because we all know the attention span of a youngster isn't very long. So it's got to be quick, it's got to be something easy that they can actually get on with and work with quite easily. And as I say, Airfix, hats off to them, they've always really done it. Revel now, with their latest releases of snap type stuff, as I say, we've spoken on it on many a live show, this stuff, apart from the bloody ATAT, which is an overpriced piece of junk, but the rest of it is all really nice standard stuff. And because in the real world we can't get Bandai over here and all the rest of it, the Airfix have really, Revel really have come along now and said, okay, what's going to jump at the moment? Okay, well, Rogue One and Star Wars and all the rest of it, they're going to be the big things that the kids are going to love. They're going to want to play with. So that's get them into the modelling and the hobby that way, and then develop it from there. So again, hats off to them. I don't see the big companies doing it. You don't see Tamiya. They tend to do their school range of kits and, those mechanical type ones and all the rest of it. But you don't see a beginner's kit from Tamiya. You don't see a beginner's kit from Meng. All right, now Meng's jumped on it as well, and they've now got their glueless Mustang, which I noticed is available yet. As soon as one comes available, I will get it and give it a go. But again, it's the bigger manufacturers, it's almost like it's below them, but the cheaper manufacturers, the ones we all complain about, they're the only ones that are doing something about it. So, kudos to Revel, kudos to, Airfix for trying to get the kids into it, trying to develop it, trying to, through sales, that hopefully will keep this hobby strong and alive and still going in the future when we're all long gone.
Yeah, I would say those Airfix kits are very good. I used to do a lot of Matchbox kits.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but the Airfix kits are pretty darn good. It has nice detail in it and built pretty quick. And I would go with someone like that.
I would say the thing is with old, people often ask like, how'd you get kids into it and all the rest of it? Well, when I was growing up in the 70s, yes, I am that old, but it was all during the war. We all had relatives who were in the war, who fought in the war and things like that. And it was the war stories that were handed down through, you know, families and films and everything else like that, and it was inspiring to me as a youngster to try and recreate that. It had nothing to do with recreating history or the brave men and women who fought in it. It was because there was a snazzy box art that went pretty good with a film I might have just seen on Saturday afternoon telly or something else like that. You know, I clear recollection as that the reason that I bought the Warhawk was after watching Tobruk or something else like that film, and it had a Warhawk in it, and because I always liked aircraft, it was like, right, we're going to build one of them, that'll do, close enough, and away we went with it. So, you know, from that point of view, it was those things that inspired me. Kids today don't really have that connection like we did. You know,
No.
the family members, unfortunately, who were there and were used to bore us to death as kids. You know, and to be honest, I've had two relatives who were aircrew World War II, as well as other family, but I had two which were sort of my heroes, if you like, growing up. They were both aircrew, and hearing their stories, at the time it bored me to tears. Now I would give anything to hear them again firsthand, and all the rest of it, but sadly they've all passed now, so you'll never get that type of thing. But kids now are never going to get that. You know, unfortunately, there might be modern versions of it and all the rest of it coming down the line, but from sort of World War II and stuff like that, where sort of everybody was in and it was that big thing, it's no longer there. So, you know, the manufacturers now, to be honest, Gundam, you know, it's I'm not going to say sad because I like it, but as sad as it sounds, kids love robots and that type of thing, and Transformers and everything else like that. That's what it's all in. That's why kids will quite happily put something like that together. That's why Gundam probably is as big as it is, you know, and things like that. So that's how I see it going. But as I say, kudos to Airfix. I will never have a bad word said against them. I'm not a fanboy because some of their stuff's truly awful. And I sometimes wonder about the way they think about stuff, and their reasons for doing it. I think sometimes they're very much not in connection with the hobby, but from a overall point of view, I do like them. And I like Revel, even though they drive me mad as well. But, you know, I think it's that love thing, you know, because I love them, I just, you know, it's almost like you're so annoyed you want to whack them with a big stick or something to try and get them to listen to you. But, I don't know. So growing up, Hans, because obviously you were in Europe until what age did you go to the US?
I was 17 when I left.
So you modelled and that in Europe, yeah?
Yeah, I used to build quite a few aircraft with my dad. It was mostly, I want to say, Matchbox at the time. Some of the really early Tamiya kits, like the, thinking here. God, it's all like 48 scale aircraft, mostly.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, you know. That's how I got hooked on it. And spend time with my dad, you know, every weekend, just kind of goofing around. We used to go up to the hobby store. It was a big treat, you know, pick out a model and have some fun, you know. It was great. It was a good time. A lot of the 32nd scale Hasegawa, early Hasegawa kits, Skyhawk, F6F, Fokker 190A, I built the early Mustangs. You know, it was a lot of fun. You know, I really had a good time. It wouldn't probably, if I look at it now, I'll go, "Wow, can't believe that was good." But you know, techniques change and kits change and all that good stuff. So it was
I think the problem that it is that when you're a kid, it's fun just to build, to have it finished, isn't it? You build because you want to play with it or whatever it is like that. You know,
Yeah.
or I did. I certainly never put mine on the shelf. Well, I did eventually, but I flew it around for a bit, quite frankly. And that was, you know, as I say, it's sort of the golden age of the hobby, that you build it because it has a purpose. Now you build it to put it in a you know, like I do, into a plastic box and look at it, you know, and in some ways that's really boring. But, you know, it's a different way of doing it. But when I was a kid, it was that thing of like, as I say, I was very inspired by films. You know, so I might see a film and I might try and recreate that. I was very much into a Lego as a kid. So between, you know, Lego was always there, and then sort of modelling and everything else like that. But certainly didn't take modelling properly into it until I came back to it in my 30s. But the thing is that it's always been there, so to speak. I've always had that thing where I've always fancied putting a kit together, even though I wasn't into it for a long time and all the rest of it. But you know, that's what I try and get kids to sort of think of, is that to get them to build something that they're really into, that they very much liked. And we get guys in the forum and they say things like, I've lost my mojo and all the rest of it. And we always say, build something you want to build for whatever reason, but you just fancy doing it. So it doesn't matter if it's aircraft armour or what type of aircraft. It might be a Spitfire, it might be a jumbo jet, it might be a Sopwith Camel, whatever it is. It's just something that you want to do because you're excited about building it, not just because you think you should do it, because it is the thing to do. You know, and that's the whole point to it. And I suppose that's what I was getting about, because I say I still get loads of emails every single day about my Tamiya F14 review. And I get a lot of people agreeing with me, and to be honest, I get a lot of people disagreeing with me, and things like that. And like I always say, is that it's not that, you know, there's anything wrong with the kit. The kit is absolutely amazing and it's fantastic and all the rest of it. And in some ways, that's the nice thing about it. If I was building from a pure fun point of view, that's the type of kit I would do, because it is so much a shake and bake and it goes together really, really well. And you know, at the end of it, you're going to have something that's really, really nice, that you could technically fly around the room, whatever you wanted to do with it, and look nice on the shelf. Or do you want to go with something that's a little bit more in depth, and it's not going to be shake and bake, it's not going to be, you know, a weekend's work or, you know, a week's work. It's going to take you many, many weeks, many months perhaps, because you want to super detail it and open it up and put all the bits into it and everything else like we've done in the past. So, you know, and that's it. And I must admit, I was very, very tempted. We had one of the guys message me and said, why don't you do it as the 4-day build? Because, you know, to be honest, it'll go together in 4 days. But like I said, the only thing is that I want to do the kit justice. And obviously doing things like this with camera angles that we use and everything else, you can't really do it justice. It's not like I'm sat here properly doing a video build of it, or all the cameras in nice and tight and I can edit it and everything else like that. So I really want to do it justice at the end of the day, instead of just chucking it together and having a laugh as we do it. But it'd be the type of kit that would be fantastic for it. It's definitely what I call a mojo kit. You know, if you lose your mojo, stick something like that together, build a Bandai, do something that's no fuss, no hassle, and goes together very, very well.
Yeah, it seems like there's quite a bit of interest, Phil, on like World of Tanks. You know, they're starting to kick out a lot of kits, you know, reboxings, if you will.
Yeah.
And you know, kids
but again,
online and they want to build their tank. You know.
Yeah, and that is the thing, because we were saying, really, you know, you need something which is going to get the kids inspired and want to build. So that's a great example. They're playing World of Tanks, and now they've got the opportunity to build what they drive around in online. Which, I know a lot of people might be thinking, that's really sad, Flory, what the hell are you on about? It's something I do as well, because obviously I fly online. I like my flight simming, and I've got I fly DCS online. I love the A10. I like flying the well, the Huey obviously, and the MI6, stuff like that. But the thing is that I want to build those aircraft I fly as part of my personal collection. So eventually I want to do the DCS line as the ones I fly anyway in my personal collection. So, you know, that's it. So I've got the F-15. That's why I want to do the flanker, because I fly that as well. MiG-29, got one of those, but I might do another one because, you know, I want to do a nicer one, to be honest. And all the rest of it. They're coming out with a Spitfire any minute, which looks absolutely gorgeous, this Spitfire. Mustang, I've got one, so we're okay with that. That's probably why it's going to get a respray as well, because I want to do it in a slightly different colour scheme. And, you know, just little things like that. But it's those inspirations which then pull you into everything else, you know. And as I say, I think sometimes people lose sight of the hobby. The hobby should be fun. You should be doing it because you enjoy it, not because you're supposed to be building a particular genre and all the rest of it, you know. And that's the whole point to it. Or certainly my point. I build because I enjoy it. I wouldn't do this job if I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's got to be fun, you know. Got to have a good time with it.
You know, you want it to be relaxing and nice. There's nothing worse where you're thinking, oh God, I've got to do that. I've got to take care of all those injector pins, or I've got to spray this, or the weathering's gone wrong last night, I've got to try and fix it. You know, that's the bit where it gets a little bit misplaced.
Yeah, very true.
Right, okay, Nigel says, hi Phil, I have many of your washes bought way back in the early days. I'm pleased to report they're still good to go and work great. I remember buying my first bottles off you when you were showing it off working on a Eurofighter wing at Milton Keynes many years ago. Christ, that would have been. And do you know what? I still use that wing. Got retired this year, but we always take it to Telford with us as well.
I
But
think
we haven't done them.
I even used that wing, Phil, when I
You
came.
did, yeah. When you did the show with us, you used that one as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Quite
I
the
didn't
story.
have the heart to bring it again. The other thing as well, when you use the same demo bits, people say to you, "You haven't finished it then." So I did. Must admit, I did retire them all.
That wing really shows the wash really well. It's one of those panel lines
That's
are there, and consistent throughout. Works
yeah.
really well.
I must admit, this year we used the flanker, the new Hobby Boss one. I must admit, I
Oh,
primed it up and then did one wing in grey, one in white. Sorry, top in, yeah, one half of the top half in white, one half in grey, and the underside was quite a rough primer, so you could see the differences between it all.
yeah.
We took that, and people were saying, "Is this the new Hobby Boss one or the Academy?" You know,
Uh,
no, it's the wash you're supposed to be interested in, but actually they want to know what kit it is. I was like, "Oh no, it's the new Hobby Boss one."
right.
So yeah, I put it back in the box. It's absolutely covered in crap still, so I'm going to have to give it an IPA bath and clean it all up.
Clean it back out.
Okay, he's got two questions regarding the wash. How can I use it over acrylic paint followed by an enamel wash? I assume I'd need a clear coat between each application. Yeah, you will, because obviously an enamel wash will eat into the clay because it's not that stable. It's good. It's resistant against water and just normal washes, things like that. But an enamel wash, it will have a hard time staying in place because it will literally dissolve it. So the usual thing, quick coat of Future or Clear Care or whatever you want over the top of it. Do that and then let it dry for 24 hours and then go in there with your enamel wash. You'll be good to go.
Right.
Number two, I remember you saying that the wash can be what? Ruined if it's contaminated from a dirty brush. What is the contaminant? Acrylic. To be honest, what happens is that if you put a brush full into your wash, so if you literally come along and you're like, right, okay, put a brush. So assume I've got a brush in here that feels clean and it's dry and all the rest of it. You put it into the clay. The clay is extremely pure. It's not like just bunging it into like an acrylic paint or something else like that won't matter. The clay wash itself there's no nasties in it, no contaminants. So if this has got something on here like dried airbrush cleaner or brush cleaner or even dried enamel washes or whatever onto it, when you put it in there, they will literally fall off of the brush. Okay, it sort of gets washed out of the brush. Then all the particles that normally hang around just going tied to each other suddenly go, oh look, and they clump to it. And then what happens is you end up with thick grit at the bottom, and that's because what happens is the wash has been pulled out of suspension because they've all clumped onto the foreign particles, and then they get heavy and they drop. So you can always tell because it looks gritty when you put it on your model, and instead of it looking like a pure, creamy colour, like a watercolour paint going on, if it looks gritty as hell, that's what's happened. There's a couple of things you can still do to get it back. Tip the entire bottle out into a jug or a bowl, okay? A bit of washing up liquid, dishwater soap, put that into it and then mix it. The dishwater soap is more harsher than the actual stuff that we have in there. The stuff that we have in there basically just does two things. One, it stops it growing into an algae and turning into a horrible gel. Okay, and secondly, it helps it with break the surface tension, as in it makes the capillary action flow with it. That's all it does. Dishwater soap or washing up liquid is a little bit more powerful and pungent. That will then rip it apart in there, okay? It will hopefully break down those particles and it will make it smooth again. So yeah, mash it all up in a bowl, let the bubbles sink overnight and then tip it back in and then you should be good to go. And it will just help it along. It doesn't work every time because it depends what you contaminated it with. But normally it's acrylics, anything that's on the brush that can give particles gives it to stick out. That's why we always say about decanting it. If you decant it, you don't have the trouble. Okay, Joe Cook says, hello, hi fellas. Did I hear Canada, did you hear Canada has decided to buy 18 Super Hornets? They've started the procurement process for the next fighter, which is an 8-year process. Air Forces is shrinking. Well, there's a lot of people says that we should have bought the F-18 Hornet in the UK. That used to be a thing. It's not so much these days, but at the time, because Eurofighter program was so delayed for years, everyone's saying we just should have bought the freaking Super Hornet and be done with it. Or obviously that instead of the F-35. But definitely it'd be nice, because the CF-18, isn't that based on the rough? Well, I know you've got your own version, but isn't it the A+?
Yeah,
it's not the C, is it?
No, that's the A. That has like an interrogation light on the side of the nose.
Yeah, they have the one on the port side nose, I know. But if you look at the rear, the other way you can tell the difference between the C and the later one and the A+ is that the tails are slightly different as well. No, they've got less lumps and bumps. But I think the Canadian one is based on the A+ with then the Canadian upgrades onto it. Yeah. So it'd be a nice jump for them to go up to that one. We've got a couple of friends, I don't know if they're still on the forum, but we used to have a pilot on the forum who used to fly the Foxtrot, the two-seater, and we had his father who used to fly the C. It's quite funny, there's a family tie between both of them. They used to be both on there. And also we've got on here as well a couple of the guys who used to work on them as well. And they say they're lovely. It's nothing like the old ones. These things are a joy to work on as opposed to the old ones. So yes, very nice. All good stuff. Right, okay, let me just get my mouse back and perhaps we can recharge. Come on, keep going, mouse. My mouse is on a little mission. There we go. Refresh. And Q. Okay. So Rob says, thanks Hans for that, for your answer. And John says, howdy guys, quick questions. What are you using nowadays to clean up your airbrush after floor care? John, great reading the work here in Oz. Have a great day. Right, I was going to say, in Oz, what time is it there? It's what, 7 in the morning? 7:30 now, just got 7:30. So. Yep. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, off to Saturday morning work. Weird. Always weird one, that one. Right, to be honest, I'm just using, we said about it a few minutes ago, cellulose thinners or lacquer thinners will do the trick. It eats it out. It'll just dissolve it on contact and then you're good to go. Or
with just the cheap way is Windex, you know, with the glass cleaner.
Anything with ammonia in it. In there.
Yeah, that ammonia really works really well. There we go. This turned out pretty cool.
Hold on, let me put you on big screen.
Hold on, this way.
Hold on. My mouse is on a go slow for some reason. My trackpad, it's literally, it goes really slow and then disappears. Right, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
Very cool. Looking good.
Pretty nice.
Very nice.
That works out pretty good. One more little thing going. Let's see, am I halfway there? No.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you started on your tracks.
That's right, I got the whole night with the tracks.
Right, okay, so from my point of view, if I show you where I'm to, I'm actually coming along really nicely on this. This is, it's even balancing, which is amazingly, it's actually sitting on its own. So we've got the wings installed after that little bit of playing around with it. Excuse the rattling, because that's the rear weight. But we've got the wings on. We've squared off, obviously the tails and the wings are, hopefully, isn't it weird? You look on camera and it looks nothing square. But I think this is on an off angle. This wing looks like it's really high, but I look down it and then 90 degrees to the tail, we are good. So, but yeah, I'm happy with that. It's coming together really nicely. And that little bit of work we did on the tops of the wings has paid off dividends now, because we've got no gaps on the tops of those wings at all. Okay, they're really nice with all of that, no problem. This one over here was particularly nasty. But it's a nice clean, crisp joint. I've got a little tiny gap slightly underneath, but I'm going to pop in there with a little bit of just glue, to be honest. I'll probably do that now actually. And that's just because of the height difference. So we do that and then we just give it a dab to make the glue sit in there. And then on the other side, then obviously naturally there would be a panel line, so you don't really want to go too far with it. So we just put that in there. and it will go through the motions. But this actually sits and balances, which is really weird. Well, it would do if the weight was up the front. Go on, that's it. Weight to the front. There we go. She does sit-ish. Come on, stay. Here we go. It's balancing, which is amazing.
That's not bad at all.
So that's not bad at all. So next up for me, I think what I'm going to do is we'll try and get the canopy on, and then we'll mask it afterwards. I'm thinking might be easier. So what we need to do is put a little bit of black just around here, because these clear windows go right up to the edge. There is no seal particularly round on them. So we'll just pop in here with a little bit of this, I think, and then Airbrush. So we'll just draw this in here.
That's not bad.
I think what I'll do, I'll just drop some around the door as well. Only because I'll forget if I don't. Okay. Get those in. Okay, so we've got this little guy just here, and might be easier to do this now. Let's have a look.
Little trick though is to take a graphite pencil and just rub it lightly. And then the edges will stand out on those masks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you can see where you're going with them all.
Yeah. My eyesight is not as good as it used to be. That works pretty good. Just take that pencil tip and just flat.
Lightly, yeah.
Lightly rub it, and it works really nice.
Alright. Give it a whirl in a minute. If I've got a pencil.
That way you can find the edge. You know? Always so. The softest pencil you can find. H.
Yeah, I must admit that's what I was looking for. So you can, look at that. It's very clever. Right, okay. Always amazing me with the Tamiya ones because they don't cut theirs, do they? They're given to you with a little marking, so you have to go around and cut them out yourselves.
I know.
It's like, well,
Crazy.
cheers for half a job.
It's a half job, right?
You know, thanks. Just what I've needed. Someone to tell me that I need to cut here to do it. Well, I might as well do the fricking thing on my own then.
Right. Yeah. How's the weather holding up over there?
To be honest, lovely day today. It's cold again. It's gone cold, but it's not raining, which is the main thing, because we did suffer a lot of flooding down here. The rail network collapsed again. We had no trains
Oh yeah.
because the lines all got washed away, which is always a problem in our neck of the woods. But no, considering what happened was we had a storm, and then it decided to come back. It sort of did a double sort of roll on us.
Yeah.
So instead of just rolling through like they normally do, this one decided to roll through, and then the back end of it come around and stung us again. So we had, I can't remember what it was, something like 100 odd millimeters of rain. Absolutely crazy amount. We had like 4 months worth in like 24 hours. So that was it. Everything collapsed. Everything sunk underwater. It's not as bad as we've had it in previous years with the flooding, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the weather's been holding up pretty darn good over here. Can't complain.
Yeah. So you've had no proper snowfall yet?
What was that?
You had no proper snowfall yet?
Nah. How's the background noise of that of my compressor, Phil? Just curious.
No, it's alright. No, it's fine. Well, this thing might only have one window, but God, does it make up with it? With framework.
It's like a little tiny front one.
Yeah.
Love those masks though. Makes life a whole lot easier sometimes.
Yeah, it's a bit like a love-hate relationship with me, because sometimes I often think by the time I've messed around with all of this and getting them lined up and everything, it would have been quicker to do it manually. And
Yeah.
other times I think, oh no, it's definitely worth it a lot. You know, when I did that 32nd scale Heinkel, the HE111,
Hmm.
um, you know, that's got loads of windows on it, and I eventually gave up using these because, you know, I could do it quicker by just overcoating it and then cutting it.
Yeah.
This I don't think so, because they're not square windows, they've got a slight roundness to them.
Hmm.
So I think it would be a little bit of a handful to try and recreate that, to cut them all in individually. But yeah, I think, you know, 48 scale stuff, I'm quite happy to tackle it myself, you know.
I'll say that PE from Takum is pretty good.
Hmm.
Fit is so good.
Yeah, I'd say really the only thing I've done properly with it was the chieftain, which is still pride of place. It's next to me, and you know, the way it all just fitted, dropped together, no real problems anywhere. It was like a real joy to build it.
Hmm.
And as you say, the photo etch, all the grills, everything else, they're perfect fits. They just dropped in. That's why we've said on a few of the shows, you know, if you wanted to have a go at armour, I would highly recommend them. You know, they really, from a fit point of view, it feels quite clunky, the plastic and all the rest of it, but actually the tolerances are all just there. They go together really, really well.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Nope. Off right up. Of course it did. Alright. Tried too quick.
Okay, just to save my madness. Mark says, me again, second post. You mentioned DCS. Have you flown the Mirage? Really cool. I did. I have flown it. It is very nice. I flew it in the early stages. To be honest, it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's I was having a go on. And it's before it had the full updates and all the rest of it. So it's still a little bit sort of beta with it. But different weapons thing. I wouldn't want to take it in combat against horde of F-15s, but yeah, it's definitely there. It's a very nice model jet. Flies very nice. As I say, because it's sort of delta wing, it's got a funny angle of attacks and things like that with it. But no, very, very nice indeed. Sorry if it's off topic, just curious. No, not at all, absolutely. Russell says, hi guys, great show. I'm watching with interest Hans's photo etch technique and can't quite work out what he's doing with his paints first, then applying PE. Why does he do this, and what is the benefit?
Basically, just spraying the grills black first.
Yeah.
So there's just some black shining through. That's all. Right? Most of that you can't even see. It just gives a little bit of depth. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, good question.
See, there we go. Okay, Daz says, nice work, Phil and Hans. I might join you tomorrow, as I've been raiding with the stash and have a couple of Ducati ducks or DUKWs I'd like to check together. Absolutely, love to have you along, Daz. Feel free.
Yeah, those are fun.
Right, see if we can get these windows all in.
Come on.
We've got a size issue with these, which is always good.
Alright, one little trick with the PE if it doesn't want to glue.
Hold on, I'll make a full screen for this.
Use a little floor care. That stuff gets pretty sticky.
Yeah.
I just need to find an old brush of some sorts. I don't want to kill my good brushes here. Let's see. There's one. Yeah, I just touch them. Doesn't have to be a whole lot even. But that stuff works pretty good. Just rub it along the edges. Oops, sorry. Probably not showing it on the camera right there.
Yeah.
Just along the edge. You know, that stuff gets so sticky when it dries.
I must admit, I did notice that. It does seem more sticky than our Future over here. That's why I know it's something completely different. It works, it reacts, everything. It's not ours at all. Because you'd think they'd all be the same, but clearly not.
Yeah, probably some chemical law that's,
Yeah.
not allowed to or something. Should help. There we go.
Very good. Coming together.
Yeah, I'll show you here in a sec. Just gotta make sure that I get this brush cleaned off because I can't get rid of that stuff otherwise. There we go. Oh, there you go.
Cool. Really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't do a whole lot of damage or anything. It doesn't leave like big glue marks behind or.
Yeah.
It works pretty good actually.
Cool.
All right, here's that. Doesn't look like much, but we're getting somewhere. Let's see. What? Of course, there's two different versions in this booklet, and I constantly have to double check.
Yeah, make sure you got the right one. We've all done that before. You're building away and you realise you're doing the wrong version.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. You're halfway into it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that's it. And it's always going really well. It's never the bit you found out, well, I've done that wrong, so I'm going to have to change it. And then you figure out, oh, I've just done this.
Yep.
Yeah, the amount of times I've been building something, it's been going absolutely fantastic. Bells along, no problem at all. And then all of a sudden you're like, shit, wrong one.
I've done
that
many a times, and it's never like you pick one, right? It's you end up with a mix of two.
Yeah.
Never fails. Let's see. How's that go on?
I must admit, I was doing a commission many years ago, and I don't know why, but I did it in the wrong markings.
Oh yeah.
The guy sent me the decals for it to be done in, and for some reason, and I don't know to this day why, but I had it in my head it was supposed to be another type, and I actually sent him the photos of the completed model, and he said, "Hi Phil, no problem, but I think you've sent me somebody else's. I ordered the whatever it was." And I was like, "No," because I was only working on that one at the time, and he was like, "No, I ordered the such and such," and it was like, oh my god. The thing is, he was actually a good client, and I'd known him a while, so I was honest. I said, "Oh god, you know what I've done?" And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal." He says, "I'll take that one, but I still need the other one."
Oh, geez.
So I ended up having to do another one, which worked nicely in my favour because I got another commission out of it. But at the time, I don't even know how. I know it was a far nicer one that I was working on. But it used to be, when I used to do the commission work, when I got a little bit busier and I had quite a few on the go at once, each one had a little bit of paper and it would have exactly what it was having. So it's like a little worksheet, and it would say, right, so in this cockpit with this, this and this, you know, even though I'd never had that many on the go, I'd only ever probably take maximum 3 at any one time. But I was just trying to look posh, I think, so I'd have all these little crib sheets with them saying what it was and what markings, what weapon set, what weather in.
Yeah.
And it was like a A4 laminate that used to go in each box with each kit. So
you have to be pretty organized when you double multiple models on the go. It's just tricky.
Yeah.
Constantly lose parts where you can't quite remember what you.
My worst one is after we've done a live show here the next day, because I've normally had to make space and everything for the guys and everything else like that, that I'll literally come down here in the morning and I'll start work and I cannot find anything. It's like, I know sometimes I do think the guys are prattling around because it has been known for them to shift stuff before. And so I'm starting to think, right, they've made off with such and such, like, where's me with this, where's that? And they're like, no, haven't touched it, and then I'll find it afterwards, so it is me.
I think I'm starting to smell turkey.
Oh.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
So basically you have 2 Christmas dinners then, 1 month apart.
Pretty much, you know, it's similar in a way. I don't mind.
That's it.
That stuff. It's very good. I got used to that fairly quickly when I moved there.
Right. Okay, so my point of view, I've just had to trim these up slightly to make them fit better. But we have, sorry, there we go, windows are done.
Yeah, that's
pre-painted down in here, so I'm hoping this will, and to be honest, is a really good fit. I'm amazed how well that fits.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's a really nice fit. So what we're going to do, we'll car glue this guy in place, and that can all be drying. Okay, so use my brush.
I couldn't make this any thinner, could I? Jesus. Alright, how does this go?
The thing is, I love about using car glue as well, when you're doing canopies like this, traditionally if you use the normal PVA glue, what happens is that when you push it in, it sort of squishes up and you have to wipe it around afterwards. Yeah. But car glue is thinner, so what happens is it just self-levels. So you don't actually have to do any particular cleanup to it afterwards. It just sort of sits in there. There's a little bit of flex in this.
Yeah,
I'd like that to.
Good.
And as I say, it dries relatively quickly, and it's got a great bite. It's got more bite than normal PVA glue.
Yeah. The other thing to do too, Phil, is again, like the little trick with the Pledge floor care.
Yeah.
Just touch it and let it sink in there. That stuff, it's so strong, you know. It's great glue.
I must admit, that's when I did the windows. For the guys who watched the Saturday show, that's how I put all the glass work into the Dolphin.
Yeah.
It was all done. I literally just dipped the entire door in clear. And then that way it sealed the glass all in all at the same time.
Yeah. It works just a treat. doesn't leave any marks behind. And even if you screw it up, a little Windex, take a brush, a little
Yeah,
Windex, but you can rub it right back out.
cool. Right, guys, get your updates in on the site. Let's see what you're all up to. This is your 2-minute warning, so update your posts to let me know, and I will go and have a look, see how you guys are getting on in the actual builds yourselves. I'll just see if we've got any more questions here. Let's just see. From YouTube, this is from Christian. Outstanding job, great, outstanding job, guys. A big hello from Chile. Ah, see, well done, Chile. And we've got Ron. He says, "Great show, guys, from Florida." So yeah. And Black Friday sales. Black Friday sales. Black Friday sales.
I'll be sitting over here not spending any money, although I might get up early and get some stuff online.
Yeah. I must admit, the only thing I have done, I did succumb this morning because Battlefield 1 is 33% off.
Oh yeah.
So I must admit, I haven't got it. Everyone's like, "Oh, have you got it? Have you got it? You got it?" And I would say, "I've been playing somebody else's," and then I was like, "Oh, go on, then I'll get it." But I haven't had time to play it. That's the thing.
There's no time.
It's finding time for all these things. Definitely no time. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. So let's just have a quick. Where's me mouse? Where's me mouse? There's me mouse. And okay. Alistair, Hans, why blow over the desk with your airbrush? Is that to remove the dust before you spray?
Yes, exactly. I tend to be extremely meticulous in trying to get rid of all the dust off of my desk. It's just one of those things. No matter how much you try, just a little dust particle. If you start spraying your paint, picks it up. Sure enough, it tracks it, gets right on your model. So just a little trick, just to clean off your desk as quickly as possible. Normally, I don't do a lot of airbrushing while I'm doing a lot of sanding. I tend to kind of break up those tasks so I can completely get rid of all the dust and sanding spoils off my desk with airbrush. It's all hard to do.
I quite agree. Mine's absolutely covered. I am covered in it myself. That's what thing. There we go. Let's see. That's one way to lose all your photo etch.
That's true. That's true.
All your photo etch goes flying now, and you wonder where it went. Okay. Nigel says, "Here you go, Phil. Tour marked Feb 11th. Did we have dates on them? Oh, it's obviously already got them. Proof they were made a long-lasting product. Just trying to work out. Yeah, I don't know when we swapped, because originally we had a black and white label, which one of our other members put up on one of our shows the other day, which must be now, I think. Just trying to think. This initially went on sale, I've got a feeling, in around about 2005. Was the first one we did it. I was using it from 2000 onwards, and then the guy started having it, and I think we first did it in that way. So yes, so those ones there, I can't. I ought to. You'd think being your own product, you'd know it better, but I can't remember when we had those types of labels, and then when they went in and out of service. But if it's Feb 11, that means they're still 5 years old.
Well, that's different. That's pro model. Oh.
You got a Pro Modeler one, have you?
Yeah, I still have one.
Have you got any with the black and white labels?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's the ones.
That's the only one that I have left.
Because we had to stop Pro Modeler in, I'm just trying to think when that was. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's got to be towards the end of Pro Modeler. And so we've been here 4 years, and it was the year before we moved in here. So, yeah, blast from the past. Okay, right, let's have a look at your great work. Let's see what everyone's up to. Come on, mouse, don't fail me now. Right, okay. So, oh no. The thing is, it's weird. Oh god, no, don't start. Hold on. No, don't go back one. My mouse is out of sync with my trackpad. That's the trouble I'm having here. It's like a second delay.
Huh.
So I know why it is. It's because it's maximum range from the PC.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could just plug it into the USB on the back of the monitor because it's closer there. I haven't tried that. Right, okay. And we have, starting off with, there you go, nice little one. This is the L13 glider.
That's pretty unique. That's
Definitely. Well done, Andrew. Nice seeing that one. Something different, definitely. Lovely little mixed media there. A little bit of everything.
cool. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. That's the nice thing about it. It's got a real mix of, well, everything really.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mouse is going to drive me mad. I'm going to get the other one in a minute. Lean over. There we go. So Mark's got his little mini walker going together.
It's getting there.
Nicely done. Coming together very nicely.
T-Brain.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
that?
that's it. Yeah, you're not allowed them. Hold
That's
on,
right.
I've lost my mouse. Look, the mouse goes from having lag until not having lag. This isn't going to end well. Right, go back. Right, okay. Yeah, it's got no lag now, it's fine. Weird. Okay, so Typhoon's really coming together. Jonathan's doing really well on that. He's got the fuselage halves all together, and he's got the wings all going on there. And is that a nice wee dram? Having a drink with my daughter, who's in Washington DC with the RAF. Slow progress. I don't know. I think you're doing really well there. Although it'll probably slow down now. The old looks like either the whiskey or the scotch is flowing.
Yeah.
So very nice indeed.
It's come along very well.
It's still a lovely looking aircraft. It's such a shame that there's not any flying and all the rest of it. You know, obviously all the Spitfires around, but
Yeah.
there's no, obviously those, all the Tempests.
Yeah, I love the looks of those.
Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, Andy's really pushing on very nicely. So he's got the cockpit bits going in there. Nice job there, Andy, doing all the bits. And he's got the wing sections all together. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Think of all the pegs being abused today. Okay, and oh, come on, mouse, this is going to take forever else. It's alright, I'm going to just jump around the corner and do it.
Exchange.
Yeah, hold on, that's alright. Right, hopefully everyone can still hear me. If I just go full screen, look, I'm so much quicker over here when I'm sat next to it. Okay. Right, where were we? Chris, lovely work coming on there. He's got the engine system in there, looking really nice. Lovely little touch on those kits. And then a bit of warpage, don't worry about that, soon nail that in. So yeah, coming along very nicely. Nice little hand painting down in there, nice details.
Yeah.
We've got the train, as we're now calling it, which has now got his top coat on. Looking really nice, coming together really, really well. Got the pre-shading showing through as well, nice touches. We've got the patch, which is Michael, working on the 101st one, so he's got airborne written in. You've got a steadier hand than me. And the tongue is done, looking really, really good. And we've got the Jack Panther, which is together as well. Pretty much finished with the construction. Leave it overnight before giving the tank the primer coat in the morning. Really nice job. Oh dear, the cable snapped. Weird thing happened though, the metal houses fell apart with a hint of CA. Alright, okie dokie. No, I think you're all good there. Really enjoying the kit. Even if it is 20 years old. See, some of the Tamiya ones are beautiful the way they go together. Although they were done, a couple of the Tamiya kits were done in the 70s. They're the same age as me. You know, it's a bit like the Lancaster was released March 73, so it's the same age as me. Nigel's cargo truck, It's coming together really now. Little update before we move on with the body. So there we go. So he's actually got the chassis work all done, and we've got the wheels sorted. Nice one, Nigel. Doing really well on that one. And another X1 on the go.
There you go.
So there we go. This is Joe following on with my one. So Joe looks like he's going to do the white one as well. So yes. Oh look, that's where the B29 collapsed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not good, that one. That wasn't a good day at the office.
Nope.
But no, nice one on that one. Coming together very, very nicely. And Tiger One. Let's see how the Photo Etch Wonder is doing. Update, slow progress. I'm not surprised. That's incredible work. Beautiful work, all of that. Very, very nice indeed. Yeah, I have to say, you are definitely the Photo Etch genius, because doing Photo Etch at this rate is not easy at all. And X1. So we've got another X1. Progress number 3. Tiger One. Right, okay, get that now. Okay, so we've got Michael. And obviously he's doing the drawing for the markings to cut out as well. Nice. Very nice indeed. Say some good work coming along here, guys. Absolutely loving it all. And okay, another X1. Going to be coming down the line. The 72nd one. X1 in the stash. Version interesting history. Had a power flight before it exploded beneath the mothership. That's the one we saw. Yeah. In that previous photo. The X-Wings bought a few kits. They're really nice. They go together really well. Christmas answer. Looks like the all-in one. That's it. And right, the Dawdle kit. No, he hasn't done any more to it. Funnily enough, the Challenger. Bless Nigel. If you get that one done, you'll be a good guy. I tell you, because it's not easy. Okay. Wow, the old Flak Panzer, wasn't it? Is this Flak Panzer? Sorry, I only scrolled as far as it was now.
That's a cool kit. It's really neat.
It's something different. So anyway, he's got the primer stage, all in spray bay. So he's got both halves done, all being done in that nice sort of red oxide colour. Very nice indeed. Well done, Clint. Doing a great job on that one. And turkey build. And the Hawk is coming along really nicely. So Freddie is doing the Hawk, pushing along. Got the internals, colours all done, and he's even painted the pilot. Nice job on painting the pilot in there. Looking very good indeed. Fantastic.
Quick work.
It is. Everyone's doing fantastic work. Absolutely. Really, really nice there. I've got a few more popped in here since we last seen it. Nigel, we just did. Klein, did we do that one? Yeah, we did that one. Train is done fine. Just checking where we're up to. Hobby Boss. See, look, they're all popping up their little updates now. So there we go. Eric's working on that one. He's got the cockpit work all done, looking fantastic, and got the control grip in. So he scratch built the control stick. Very nice indeed. Okay, nice little details. Showing about the old ejector pin marks in there. Is this the old thingy kit? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. No, it's not. No. So I was thinking of somebody else's kit actually. Ah. Oh, it's the Hobbycraft kit. No, it is. That's why I saw it. I must admit, the only reason I thought it was the Hobbycraft one, because I just vaguely remember it from the ejector pins covering right over important parts.
Another brilliant idea in engineering.
Yeah, the engineering level is brilliant. It's like some engineer spends all his time doing it all, and then literally they just nail it.
Yeah.
Right, we just need to get these pictures a bit bigger, guys. But there we go. That looks cool. We like a devilfish. I'm impressed with that. Anything with a rotary Gatling gun on it gets my vote.
Careful what you show on the right hand side, Phil.
I know. That's what I did, but I couldn't see a better picture. So there we go. Coming together all very nicely there. Not much of an update. No, that's all right. Doing well. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Doing fantastic.
Just keep going.
And there we go. That's it. Well done, everybody. Let me just refresh in here. Mr. Malley, which means long time no chat. I spoke to you like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I suppose it doesn't count on here though. Mind you, you haven't spoken to Steve for a while, I suppose. Bless. So a lot of you know Steve. Steve works for the, or at, shall I say, well, and for the Tank Museum at Bovington. So if you ever need anything, just ask Steve.
How's it going,
But bless
Steve?
him.
I'm glad to see you
think,
on the forum and posting something.
Absolutely. I think you should get on with that one, Steve. Let's get you in there for that 30-second F15 aggressor. Definitely.
Yeah. So he's asking, let's see, but the blue problem, I know Model Master do it, but that's an enamel. I think I have that blue. And to be honest, you know, that blue, I think I missed the paint color blue.
Yeah. Just move around.
That's,
I was going to say, Mr. Paint now does all the flanker colours, so surely that will be take your pick, isn't it? Because to be honest, I've got all the blues. I've got all the flanker blues, all the MIG blues now. So I should think out of one of them, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, I think Mr. Color does. That is that Air Superior Blue 74, and then let's see, Intermediate Blue 72 would be very good to start with. These guys right here.
Hold on, let me just bring you up. I've got ahead of myself here. Hold on.
That's all right.
Let me. Sorry. There we go.
Oops,
yeah.
Wrong way. Hold on. Let me find my
up.
Hey.
Yeah.
Those two would be good starters.
But also, what about MRP paints? Because they do all the flanker colours.
Yeah, I would say.
Because they based them on the flanker blues, haven't they? So.
I think
I don't know what the official colours are. Hold on, let me see what the official colours are. Flanker blue, according to these guys, is federal standard, or the closest things to it is 35405 for the blue, for the light blue.
Yeah,
and for the dark blue, they're saying it's 35109.
That's that guy.
Yeah. Because to be honest, as you say, I've got all the flanker blues. I've got the entire flanker family, and I've got all the Ukrainian blues, as well as now all of the SU-27 and SU-33s and SU-34s.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty covered on blues now. I don't know exactly how the US aggressors of how close they painted them to them, you know.
I think that the dark blue color is much darker than what the Russians are using. If it's the splinter scheme one. I think I have that sheet laying around here somewhere. Let's see. Here's the Model Master blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that the dark blue is quite dark on that splinter scheme.
Ah, right.
And no, I haven't used any Hataka paint. For sure.
No, nor have I. Apparently it's thin. It takes a little bit of getting used to spraying it. Again, it's one of those things, low air pressure, close up, lots of little light coats on there, Steve. So yes. But as I say, the other one is MRPs as well. They're coming out with, apparently they're next on the hit list. They're going to be doing all the Italian colours and everything else. Did I tell you he's planning on doing 500 colours?
Jeez.
That's their initial. They've got a line of 500 colours in the pipeline.
That's amazing.
So you think we're up to 200 odd, when there's loads of gaps in that.
Yeah.
So
there's quite a bit of gap still.
So, but yeah, very good. Yeah, right. Okay. Back up to here. Okay, that's all still good. Right, let me just make sure we're okay everywhere else on planet us. No, wrong page. Facebook. Just in case someone's trying to come in through there. No, we're all good there. sure no one's on the main site. No, amazingly, we're all okay everywhere, which is brilliant. Well done, everybody. Yeah, we're all caught up and we're all good.
Good. Might actually looks like the screw filler is almost dry, so
yeah,
might actually get a round barrel after all.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just try and give this a little bit of a sand at the rear end. I lost the sanding sponge. No, I haven't. But it's the one we want. That's all right. Shameless plug, but that's the buffers working full tilt, polishing it to the same as it was before.
They've really worked well.
Shameless plug.
Hold on.
But there we go, that's...
Yep. There's one.
Crikey, have you still had the sealer wrap on it?
Some of them I do.
Because those sealer wraps we've had to stop doing. Because the idiots in the factory who print our logo on them melted them to the frickin' surface.
They did.
So, yeah, brilliant. So we say to them now, don't put the sealer wrap on them because otherwise you end up cocking them up, you muppets.
Right.
But we had about 600 or 700 where they had heat shrunk that sealer wrap straight to the plastic. So there we go.
I love it. Yeah, they're very good. This is a new one from the old stock, I guess, that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work awesome. Look at that, man. There's my barrel all the way back to...
Hold on. Let me zoom you in.
Let's see, hold on, right there.
There we go. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. There's no seam lines, no nothing. You just gotta that flash suppressor and extractor. I gotta clean that up. So,
Yeah.
back to round. Nice.
Cool. Looking good. Let's go full. So me under here. Probably going to need a little bit, just in the middle here, I've got a little tiny seam in there, so what I'm probably going to do is backfill that with a little bit more filler. I don't think I put enough in there.
Yep.
You can probably see it just catch it there. Going to take care of that guy. Top I'm just starting on now. Just to have a run through, see what we got. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put filler just around this back edge, just a tiny bit, very, very lightly. And then hopefully it'll take care of that. So make our way through.
Be close with that. See. Clean up a bit. Alright, that. Let's see what else. There you go.
Okay, so we're just going to put a dab of this.
Alright. Let's see.
Tiny little bit of filler just around where you think it's going to need it. On those ones, right, okay, so Paul says, hi Finn Hands, enjoying your show guys, working with you on the Trumpeter SU33D in 1/72, great kit, and with a beer on the side. Hey, best way to be. And I have a coffee in a flask. Bless, right, okay. So, I think that's probably about as far as I can get tonight, to be honest, on that guy.
Ways, yeah.
So he's all together and all done, which isn't too bad at all. I must admit, we're happy with that.
Like that. What time is it, Phil, over at your side?
It's now 25 to 10.
Wow.
So my little time clock from around the world has got you at 25 to 3.
It's about that turkey time because I can smell it.
So yeah, so if you're in Honolulu, it's 11:34.
Yeah.
Sydney, it's now 8:34. New York, you're 4:34, and LA, you're 1:34. So yeah, my clocks from around the world. Yes, that's what I've got you all on that one down there.
It's starting to look pretty good. Getting somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let me just check all in here.
Let's see. Here we go.
Yep. Hold on, I'll make you a full screen. Hold on, see where you're at.
Starting to see some detail.
Sorry, mouse is on a go slow. There we go. No, looking really good. Coming together really quick now.
Yeah, just a little prep work.
Yeah.
Definitely getting somewhere now. The rest shouldn't be too complicated except those tracks. They're staring me in the face tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, you have to have an evening of just track building.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, they're not the easiest tracks, really.
No. Should have thought about that, but you know how it goes.
Well, we all did wonder that when you said you were going to do it. We all thought, what about the tracks?
Little challenge, you know. It's all right.
Oh, got to be done.
It's got to be done. Let's see.
Right, okay.
Let's see. Maybe that seam does end up getting hidden eventually.
Well, if it's buried in there.
Yeah, I think there's like a kind of like another level that goes on top of it. Let's see that. If we can get rid of that seam, would be awesome. That's a lot less work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely want to do the easiest way possible if you can.
Yeah. It wasn't quite clear in the instructions though. Let's see if this is going to hide this. Save me some work tonight. God, the screw gates are just horrendous on this thing.
They are pretty thick.
It's like, come on, you know, really? It's not needed. Let's take a look here. This. Which one do we got? What is it? 13 is Over this side. Might luck out. Some of it is hidden. Not all of it, of course.
Oh, that's about right.
Yeah. It's close. Just enough in the back end. Let's see if that styrene filler is hard enough yet. Let's see. Stubborn one, huh? All right.
That's it. Beat it into submission. Right, rockets on the back. Bit of a tidy up.
Now, another leak.
swing round here. Right, Alan says, Phil and Hans, what does Kicker do to styrene filler? It's dried quicker but shrink. Does it dry quicker but shrink? Kicker, I don't think will have any effect on styrene filler at all.
No, it shouldn't.
Because the chemical compound is completely different from both types on that one, to be honest. So I don't think it should actually do anything whatsoever.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, I should think you could just spray it and do what you like. It definitely won't make it dry any quicker, that's for certain. Nigel said, Hans, your sanding and blowing noise is driving my little dog crazy. Stop it now.
Didn't know it made that much noise.
She's deafening me. Bless. Right. Okay, we're all done in that one. That's good. We're up to there. And if we just have a look round, probably for the last time tonight, guys, just down in here.
Let's see.
If I make you all full scale.
What's that?
Now my mouse is behaving again. Okay, so.
Alright.
So he's doing the Russian crew. T-72 crew.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Look at those. Really, really nice. Fantastic. Beautiful castings.
Yeah, I have that set. It's not cheap, but man, it's nice.
He says there that obviously the casting quality is excellent. Hardly a seam anywhere. Hope to clean them up and assembled and undercoated by the end of the day, ready for painting tomorrow. Because nobody goes out on Black Friday. Anybody sensible doesn't go out on Black Friday.
That's right.
Okay, so we got the, do they call it the tadpole? Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-pole. Yes, the two-pole SS25. So that'll be the chassis work underway underneath there. Or is it the rocket actual thingy? Oh, obviously got photo problems there.
Yeah.
Cool, nice little setup. Busy.
Very nice.
Nothing wrong with a busy setup. That's it.
Busy bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Bench is a bench. Bench is where you're happy.
Yep. That's
okay.
good.
That's where we left it last time with the photo etch work. Still doing fantastic on that. Again, that's a real love, passion that is, to be tackling that in such a short spell. Okay. Got another one on the go. So this is Mendeed, is it? Hi Phil and Hans, morning from Melbourne. See, look, it's their morning, isn't it? So they're hard at it now.
They're starting.
Yeah, that's it. The KV1.
That's a nice little kit. It's very cool. Lots of fun.
I haven't seen that one before, so it'd be a nice one to follow along with that one. So yeah, excellent work. And the X1 and B1 from Joe. Just somebody saying good luck on that one. And Brewster Buffalo.
Yeah.
No, still on that part, which is fair enough. Jack Panther, these are all 29 minutes ago, so I assume we haven't got any more. No, we are roughly to where we are.
Yeah.
That's alright, guys. Absolutely fantastic work.
Very nice.
So I think we're roughly where we were before, an hour ago. So, are you going to try and do this one? Started on a Tamiya 132nd F15 year update to current standing with resin photo etch. I thought I'd start it today during the turkey shoot. Yeah, definitely. Nice one, Rick. We want to see photos of it. And obviously finished by Monday.
That'll keep you busy.
Yeah, that would keep you busy. I must admit, I would love to have a challenge like that just to see if you could pull it off. But the trouble is, you need the drying time. At the end of the day, it needs to dry. to
Yeah.
be able to, you know, otherwise you're just going to end up with a load of, you know, shrink marks and sinking and
Yeah.
all things like that in there, really, and paint drying. You know, it does take time. There is actually, you know, a time given for a certain amount of model when it's drying and all the rest of it. Because if you don't, you will end up with sink marks.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, was always my problem when I was commission building. It is that thing where you have to draw a line between, okay, you can build a model, and like I said, I can put together a Hasegawa F4 Phantom out of the box job, or just a limited upgrade here and there, perhaps like a seat, things like that. I can put one of them together in roughly 12 to 14 hours, done, completed from start to finish. But that doesn't allow for the drying time. You're waiting for the filler to dry on it, because there's a couple of areas that need filler on that thing, and a few bits and pieces. You know, otherwise what happens is you give it to the client, looks fine. 2 weeks later he looks at it, you've got depressions from the glue drying from the seam line running down the spine and things like that. So you have to almost allow those to dry at 24 hours before you come in with sanding and extra filler or what else is required in there. But it would be interesting, you know, perhaps to have a go a little bit quicker all the way through them.
Yeah.
Definitely. So let me just make sure, do a clean sweep round here. Honestly, my mouse is so far out of sync, it's like somebody else is doing it. Right. That's it, we're still there. Right, well, if we like, guys, we'll call it quits there for tonight. Because if we go over 4 hours as well, Hans will lose him and he'll drop out. Because we lose after 4 hours, Skype shuts itself down, and all the rest of it. So there we go, that's it on that one. Right, big plan is then obviously tomorrow be back with you at 1 o'clock, and then obviously Hans can join in when he's awake, and come back in with us, and then we'll carry on same basically schedule as we've done today, and then so on. So my point will be in the morning is to just generally check this thing over, make sure it's okay, but I won't do any more to it, because to be honest, I've still got to do your orders, got to do some editing, I've got to do those group build reveals, I've got to sort those out, I'm going to do those, and everything else like that in the morning. And then this afternoon I will be back with you with this one, where I'll sand, rescribe, triple check everything, and then hopefully we'll get this thing into primer. And I'm going to black base this thing type of thing. It's going to be black primer everywhere, then we're going to come in with the white over the top of it. So I might hold that off to actually on the Saturday, but the chances are we're pushing through quite quick, so maybe tomorrow night I'll actually get the white on this, then that can be dry and then deckled and everything through the next days. And as those things are drying off, I might grab something else and have a start on that as well. So that is the plan with that. But actually, I must admit, I'm very happy how that is. It's nice and square and everything else like that. Geometries are all good, it's all been put in there.
Yeah,
So far, so good.
It's looking good.
And how's you doing, Hans? You coming along all right?
That's as far as we made it today.
Yeah.
But not bad at all. Pretty happy. Got most of the suspension parts on there. The barrel is done. The barrel is done. Just got to do the extractor and do some track building tonight, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Get on with your tracks. You'll be absolutely fine with that. And then done. For you guys that are doing armour with tracks, I'm like, really? I would never dream of doing that. I can understand getting away with the bandy ones or the quick click type ones, because you can just oof them together and away you go. But when they're individuals like that, it's like, oh my god.
There you go. At least I got the jig is set up. So.
Yeah, got your jig all ready to get them lined up on it. You'll be fine. I have every faith.
We'll see how much I can get done after eating turkey and stuff like that. But
yeah, you'll just feel bloated and want to go and sit in front of the telly and watch the game, no doubt.
That's right. That's very true. But it was fun. We got a lot of stuff done though. That was cool.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. Everyone's done really well today. You guys obviously doing on home amazing work down there. I must admit, some of the stuff I never thought I would see you guys have a go at right off the bat, like the photo etch work, some of the more complicated kits, everything else like that. But as I said before, don't push yourself too hard and wreck it. You know, if it does go over, don't worry about it. As I say, it's all done for a little bit of fun, this, you know, and just to have a bit of a giggle and all the rest of it. Because what I'll do is I won't do the reveal photo thing until I get round to it afterwards, but I will do one together probably a week after. So if you complete it afterwards, don't worry, we'll still count it in there. As I said, it's not like a full group build or a proper SIG. This is more just a little bit of fun for everybody to join in with the build.
Yes.
So right, There
All
we
right.
go. We'll call it quits there, mate. You have a lovely rest of your day. Enjoy your turkey dinners, everyone in the
Thanks.
US.
Yep.
And stick your feet up and all the rest of it. We'll be back with you 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here in the UK. And then we're going to carry on and make our way through just like that. So that's about it. So thank you very much for joining us tonight,
Right.
Hans.
We'll
That's
see you
lovely.
guys.
I'll
Yep.
find the off
Take care.
button this time, because to be honest, I clicked the wrong button earlier and I just cut us off. It literally just ended on the spot. Instead of doing like the outro bit, it just cut us off. So sorry about that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for all your questions. Don't post up any more in this particular thread that you're seeing now, because we're going to start a brand new one tomorrow. So we're going to roll straight over to the new one. All right, so that will go live at lunchtime, around about 12 o'clock. I'll make it live and we'll continue for that one. So after the show, what I'm going to do is lock this one down if you're wondering where it's gone and everything else like that. So that way it just keeps it all fresh, so we're not hunting for posts and everything else like that. So thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, Hans. Everything's
Yep.
working a
Thank you.
dream. Carry on all your great work. Remember, you can carry on without
Take
us
care.
if you want. That's not a problem. Everything else. And we'll see you all very, very soon. So see you later, guys. Happy modeling. Take care. Bye.
Bye.